You might have heard Syria's being bombed again, and this time it's not its own government, nor is it Russia, it's Israel. Syria's southwestern neighbour bombed two sites south of the capital Damascus, one just 20 kilometres outside the city and another in the province of Daraa. The attack happened just as the country's interim leaders had brought together hundreds of representatives from across Syria to discuss how to unify the country.
إدانة التوغل الإسرائيلي في الأراضي السورية باعتباره انتهاكاً صارخاً لسيادة الدولة السورية والمطالبة بانسحابه الفوري وغير المشروط.
This bombing begs the question, what's Israel up to in Syria? Well, just 2 days before this attack, Benjamin Netanyahu issued this warning.
לא נאפשר לכוחות של ארגון ה-HTS או לצבא סוריה החדש להיכנס לשטח מדרום לדמשק. אנחנו דורשים פירוז מלא של דרום סוריה במחוזות קונטרה, דארה וסווידה מכוחות המשטר החדש.
Here's a map. Netanyahu is talking about banning Syrian soldiers from 6% of their own country. Officially, Israeli leaders say they don't want armed Syrians near the borders because the country is now led by HTS, and that group was once affiliated with Al-Qaeda. Some analysts say that reason might well be legitimate, if only Israel didn't have a habit of occupying territory indefinitely. So, what was the arrangement between the two countries before this? There's a demilitarized zone that runs along the border, which is monitored by UN troops. The two countries signed that buffer zone deal in 1974, but with Assad gone, Netanyahu says it's no longer valid. You may also already know that Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria in 1967 and annexed the region in 1981. Under international law, that land is still considered Syrian. Despite that, Israel has built 30 settlements there. So it's not just about preventing Syrian soldiers operating in parts of Syria. It's about Israel's ability to occupy. Then there's Syria's highest point. You see, since the fall of Assad, Israeli troops have not only moved into the demilitarized zone, they've gone beyond it, and they've captured the strategically important Mount Hermon. There, they've planted flags, desecrated a Christian cross, and satellite images show they've constructed at least 4 outposts. There are also Israeli plans to expand its only ski resort. Naturally, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has already been to visit.
אני פה בשיח חרמון.
Despite Syrian protests, Netanyahu says his troops will stay. The country's defense minister says Mount Hermon will be Israel's eyes across enemy territory, including southern Lebanon. As for Syrians who live in areas Israel wants to dictate, they say they didn't fight for freedom from one oppressor to be occupied by another.